The issue is no longer whether robots will replace humans in the workforce, but when. Even though there are valid arguments against using robots in military operations, many people continue to appreciate watching movies about killer robots. In this video, we will showcase the most recent machines from Boston Dynamics that are so terrifying that they can cause you to lose control of your bladder. If you don't want to miss any of these incredible robots, keep watching the video till the end. Robotics Innovation for Defense and Civilian Application. You may be familiar with Boston Dynamics, which has garnered recognition over the years for showcasing impressive robot demonstrations on social media. Even if you're unfamiliar with the company, you've probably seen the video of a dog-like robot effortlessly lifting large objects. Boston Dynamics was founded to enhance robots' ability to traverse difficult terrain. Their current objective is to develop robots that can be used for both military and civilian applications. Boston Dynamics, a leader and pioneer in robotics, is coming closer to realizing its vision, as its robots are already capable of extraordinary feats. The company has designed and tested numerous bipedal and quadrupedal robots, including the LS-3, a militarized version of Big Dog, their first successful quadrupedal robot, and one of their most well-known devices. This robot is designed to operate in hot, chilly, damp, and dirty environments. The US military is presently evaluating it for use as a squad support element due to its ability to maintain balance while carrying massive loads in harsh combat conditions. Atlas, the humanoid robot. Let's explore Atlas, a 6-foot bipedal humanoid robot designed for various purposes and tasks. This robot is more likely to serve as a test subject for a prospective robot soldier. In 2013, when it was first exhibited, it had just begun to learn how to walk. However, the Atlas robot team has made substantial progress since then, and they have been updating us via social media on their achievements and significant milestones. The robot learned how to walk like we all did by stumbling a few times before achieving success. From acrobatics to soldiering, Atlas can currently balance on one limb, walk, jump, run at a speed of 2.5 meters per second, and perform backflips. According to the Boston Dynamics team, the Atlas robot can also drive, ascend ladders, extinguish fires, turn off valves, unlock doors, and operate powered equipment in hostile environments. The Atlas robot has the most significant potential for future soldiering, as it was initially designed to assist emergency services and search and rescue operations. This is likely why US government research organizations such as DARPA have invested so much money in this endeavor. The scientists working on the project are constructing a paradigm-shifting neural net AI that will power Atlas and is required for the onboard control, perception, and estimation on 3 computers. Additionally, the robot stands out due to its remarkable motor movements. Atlas and AI technology. Now that it has access to AI technology, Atlas can teach itself new skills, demonstrating the seamless integration of mechanical parts with a computer-controlled brain. It's intriguing to think that maybe Atlas could do away with the need for armies altogether. Boston Dynamics has sold a few robots to the military through an early adopter program. It's exciting enough that they've already successfully field tested some of their robots. It now appears that robots may enter the armed forces far sooner than we had anticipated. 3 categories of military robots and their implications for future warfare. The military has access to 3 categories of robots. The first includes mechanically reactive robots to external inputs. They obey orders without hesitation and require human guidance to function. EOD robots that defuse explosives and robots that remove mines are examples of this category. The second category consists of robots that function according to a pre-programmed schedule and set of algorithms and whose behavior is predictable. This category includes both reconnaissance and fire control robots. The final classification of robots is the subject of extensive debate. They are programmed to choose from various options and can exercise independent judgment due to advanced artificial intelligence despite their programming constraints, as they can make decisions based on battlefield conditions and mission objectives. This robot can render human soldiers obsolete. They may even lead teams of other robots to accomplish duties that require human soldiers. It would be difficult for any military commander to resist their potential. Challenges in developing autonomous drones for military use. You may have heard that it is possible to accomplish military objectives without causing human deaths. For this reason, there has been a substantial investment in autonomous drone technology, with the aim of creating drones that can operate without human intervention. Several air forces are currently developing this technology. However, significant obstacles must be surmounted before these autonomous drones can be utilized in the actual world. The advantages. Robots have the potential to save innumerable lives. They lack emotions, do not experience fear or trauma, and possess incredible strength unmatched by humans. Additionally, they can operate in inhospitable conditions. In addition, they can be updated and improved much more readily than human soldiers, and mass production should make replacements cheaper. The disadvantages. The reliance on autonomous robots on human programming makes them susceptible to hijacking. The technology could also be used as a weapon against humans, either by accident or by those who seek to do so. Moreover, even if we presume that autonomous robots will not pose a threat to humans, there is still the possibility that those with access to this technology will persecute those who do not. Numerous moral and ethical considerations must be addressed before wholly autonomous robots can be utilized as soldiers. Nevertheless, this technology will likely become more widespread in the future. And that completes our video for today. We hope you enjoyed learning the robots that have been showcased. Which of them do you think will revolutionize humanity? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Tech Bros for more content such as this.